Do you even know what minimalism is? Yes, I just choose not to practice it most of the time. Hi there, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to go through the packing video that I talked about last week or maybe the week before. I can't remember. I've been meaning to do this packing video for a while. If I really had my act together, I would have done it before I went on my trip, but of course I'm about as organized as I usually am, so that did not happen. However, I still think it's useful when you're going to cities you maybe haven't been to before and you're like, what do I pack? What do I wear? There are things you can do. You can check Pinterest boards, you can check YouTube. There are lots of channels that will show street style and you can get some inspo from that. I used to travel a lot. I've been to 55 countries and not done a lot of travel recently for various reasons. When I lived in Saudi, it was at least once a month, sometimes every weekend. I had a go bag with duplicates of all of my toiletries that just lived in that bag because I was packing so often it didn't make sense for me to ever unpack them. And that was a good time. I don't think I fully appreciated at the time how wonderful it was. So now anytime I get to travel, I am so thankful and thrilled to do it. But one thing I remembered from my much more active travel days is that when you're going on a trip, the easiest thing to do is to pick a theme. Some people pick characters. Sometimes I do that. If you're going on maybe like a resort vacation where you're taking, checked luggage and you want to be super fabulous for every single look, have at it. Fill your boots, take whatever you want, go nuts. But if you're trying to be minimal in a carry-on, and I know you're looking around at my decor going, do you even know what minimalism is? Yes, I just choose not to practice it most of the time. However, on this particular trip, I was going to London and Paris for a 10-day stretch. And I used to live in both those cities, so I know them pretty well. So this was beginning of June, and that weather can be tricky in both of those cities. It can kind of go either way. I really did not want to pay $75 to check a bag, because as soon as I got to Heathrow, I just wanted to be on the move. I actually had to buy a new bag, and this isn't even a carry-on. This is an under-seat bag. Like, it's itty bitty. I ended up using this and like a squishy little tote that I have as my personal item. My plan was that if I ended up buying some things and it wasn't all going to fit in my luggage for the return trip, I would just buy a cheap suitcase there. But I was actually extremely lucky because a very good friend of mine was going to be in London on business. So not only did she let me freeload in her hotel room for 3 nights, which was incredibly kind and helpful, but she also had some space in her larger checked bag for me to bring back a few things. The theme for this trip was just a black and white theme with some little touches of color and some good accessories. Super simple, but very chic. You could never go wrong with black and white, so let's see how I did. This was my travel outfit, both directions. I always travel in a stretchy blazer. It's comfortable and you look put together. I don't know. Flying is so uncivilized these days. I feel like it's nice to make a little bit of effort. It's also super practical because A, it's got pockets, and B, it's obviously easy to take on and off. I always have it over a t-shirt because, again, layering. You know how flights go. It can be really warm, it can be really cold, it can be both, one after the other. So it's always good to have layers. Hence the scarf. When you travel, you should always have a scarf. And like these big ones are really, really useful because there's just a plethora of uses. Other accessories, I just have these sparkly hoops, which I wore with almost everything, and one ring. I took one ring for 10 days. Like, who even am I? My t-shirt, I was just going to wear a plain black t-shirt, but I have taken Sparkly Pineapple with me on nearly every trip I've ever taken since I bought it. So on the bottom, I wanted to keep it very comfortable. So these are kind of like athleisure pants that I got from Joe Fresh. Super stretchy and very, very thin. So really comfortable to travel in and also still look quite smart. I took 2 pairs of shoes. I know. I can't with myself. but really it was all I needed. So I have these sequin fit flops, which are my favorite shoes of all time because they're incredibly comfortable. They have these reversible sequins, so it can either be kind of cream if I want to be a little bit more low-key, or suddenly they're silver. And for the plane, I also have this extremely useful cashmere poncho that I bought at Marks and Spencer when I lived in London many years ago. The best thing for travel that I think I possibly ever bought. It is comfortable. I mean, it's cashmere. It's like literally wearing kittens, minus the claws. And it's so great for planes that I kind of just use this as a blanket on the plane. It squishes down to just about nothing. So this was all I took in the way of a jacket. I knew the weather was going to be good most of the time, and I just didn't want anything heavier. But having this was very useful because there were a couple of days that got a little chillier than they were meant to be, and having this just stuffed in my bag and being able to throw it on was amazing and made me feel super smart for having it with me. So this was my day one outfit from when I arrived in London. Got there, dropped my bag at the hotel, did a quick change, and headed out. I was really only meeting a friend for dinner that day. Required something stylish yet comfortable because he always spoils me. I knew there was going to be a lot of eating and drinking involved. So we met and had a cocktail and then went to this amazing place up in Shoreditch for dinner, then went somewhere else for ice cream and a fourth stop for a final cocktail of the evening. Then I was able to head back to the hotel, got that good time zone adjusting, get over jet lag sleep, and I was fine for the rest of the trip. So talking through this outfit, just my little sparkly scarf that is one of the most useful things I own. Graphic tee, I like this Rolling Stones one because of the colors, and I just teamed it with this very comfortable cardigan that I've had for close to 20 years, and pants that are also much of the same vintage. The only bag that I brought because everything I was wearing was black and white, and I thought a pop of red is just perfect. I didn't thrift this. I had been trying to thrift a red tote for months and months and months, never found one, so this one was 9 West that I found at Winners, or TK Maxx or TJ Maxx, the right size, and went with everything. Even for evening, I had thought about bringing a clutch, but this was perfect. Even going out for dinner, it wasn't too much. It was just, yeah, it's all I needed. Day two was another travel day because I was getting the Eurostar from London to Paris, which is by far the easiest way to get from London to Paris. If you're not familiar, it's a wonderful train, quite reasonably priced if you buy your tickets early enough in advance. Very comfortable and takes you basically from the center of London to the center of Paris, so you're not dealing with airports, and that makes a huge difference, so I highly recommend it. I again needed to be comfortable, but I did switch to jeans. I don't like bringing jeans when I travel because they're heavy and they're bulky, but just because of that changeable spring weather, I knew I needed jeans for this trip. I just teamed it with this little striped sleeveless turtleneck, the blazer again, and I added this little fabric rose to kind of jazz it up a bit, and my sculptural earrings that class up any outfit. That was my kind of chic travel look for toddling off to Paris. I basically just dumped my bag at the hotel, dumped the blazer because, wow, it was blazing sunshine and really quite warm. So I just took the flower off and pinned it to my top instead, and just headed straight out. And it was a great day 2 night look. Day 3, and this was the day that I had to go deal with my Paris banking nightmares. It felt like, you know, sort of a respectable thing to wear to deal with the banks. Although it didn't help because they were absolute disasters and failures. And let's just not dwell on that right now. This was from Primark last year, and it sort of fits with my whole actually becoming Moira Rose aesthetic. Jeans and the little Skechers shoes, and again, the simple accessories. I started the day out at the Eiffel Tower because I just wanted to sort of, you know, visit my old friend. Everything was kind of scaffolded up for the Olympics, so it wasn't fantastic around there. It's usually a lot nicer. Day 4's outfit was pretty easy because I knew that was the day I was going to go and spend at my favorite museum in Paris, the Carnavalet Museum, which I will talk about more in my vlog when I post it. and it's the Museum of Paris. It's located in the Marais. It's two old mansions that have sort of been Frankenstein together into one amazing museum. I've been there many times, but they have renovated it since the last time I was there. So I really wanted to go and just spend the day and visit all my favorite pieces and really just take my time and enjoy it. So for that, I just went with a sleeveless turtleneck. Sleeveless turtlenecks are really useful for spring trips. It's gonna be really warm, it's gonna be really cool, so you kind of have the best of both worlds. Just the light cardigan with that little scarf, same hoops again, of course the same ring again. Threw the rose onto my bag, and to keep it super comfortable, I wore the athleisure pants again and sequin fit flops, because that was a day, well, every day was a ton of walking. What am I talking about? Every day was over 20,000 steps. One day I got to 30,000, and I actually had to look that up. 30,000 steps is a half marathon, but a half marathon the way that I do it involves stops for cocktails and ice cream. So I think that's much better. This was my evening look for day 4. It was a Saturday night and I was meeting my friend Amanda for dinner. I hadn't seen her in years and years and years. So I wanted to make a bit of an effort, still be kind of cool and funky. I went with my How to Look After Your Demon Cat t-shirt because it amuses me, and added this little sequin blazer and these sort of graphic earrings. It was such a lovely evening. We went for steak and frites, and we spent so much time just, we ended up going out for cocktails afterwards and leaving at, I believe it was 2:30 in the morning. So that was pretty good going for a couple of middle-aged ladies. This is day 5's outfit, and it was for my birthday. Yay! I actually hadn't done anything for my birthday for several years, so it was really meaningful to have one in Paris and with my old friend. Same friend I had dinner with the night before, but for lunch, she brought her girlfriend and her daughter and another friend of ours from back in the day when we all lived there. And I hadn't realized she was living back in the city, so it was wonderful to see her too. And as lazy Sunday afternoons tend to sometimes go in Paris, lunch turned into drinks at another place, and then that turned into wine and charcuterie in the early evening. It was basically an 8-hour section of meals and just relaxing and chatting, and it was a really wonderful day. So I just kept it casual and comfortable and fun in my Pulp Fiction t-shirt and this lovely scarf that I had worn the day before. Popping in halfway through just to remind you to like and share and subscribe, because that's super helpful for me with the algorithm, and I'm really grateful for you being here. Thank you so much. Day 6 was my last full day in Paris, and the weather took a turn. It was much cooler and no sign of the sun in the morning. So I put the sleeveless turtleneck back on again with this shirt, and I was glad I had the cashmere poncho with me, because it was a nice way to add that extra layer of warmth that I needed that day. And I just had on my jeans and the fit flops again, and that was perfect for a day of roaming around. That was my 30,000 step day. So, so yeah, that was pretty good going. This was the outfit for day 6, which might look very, very familiar because you saw it on day 2, because I was doing basically the exact thing in reverse, taking the Eurostar from Paris back to London. So really the only change I made was I swapped my earrings back to the hoops and changed the jeans for the athleisure pants. And this was another day to night outfit. So when I got to London, I went to my friend's hotel, picked up the key, dropped off my bags, and ran out to South Kensington to do a little bit of thrifting there and treat myself to an afternoon tea, which was quite lovely. And then met my friend. We just went to a pub for dinner, and it was just kind of a chill kind of a day. Day 8 was a super busy running around kind of a day, and I had to go to South London to visit some old friends there, then rush back into central London to meet my friend. She really likes the restaurant Chic, and So we decided we would treat ourselves to a lovely meal there and then go out for drinks afterward. So this was another kind of day to night outfit, but with a couple of little swaps at the end. So for daytime, I just had the Rolling Stones shirt again with the cardigan and the super flowy trousers and the little black Skechers, which was just a really easy running around outfit for the day. So for dinner, I kept the same outfit, but just did a few swaps to jazz it up for the evening. Threw on this sequin blazer, this pearl choker, and had acquired this pair of little adorable strawberry earrings, I think the day before, and I just couldn't resist adding it on for my evening look. So we treated ourselves to a lovely meal and went over to Claridge's and treated ourselves to a very expensive but very delicious cocktail. Day 9 was my final full day in London. A cool, funky ensemble. So the Pulp Fiction t-shirt again, swapped it out with the Diamante scarf this time, my blazer because it was a little bit chilly that day, and my jeans and flip-flops, and of course my trusty red bag, put the rose on it again. It was just a easy, fun outfit for an easy, fun day. I took myself out for lunch in Shoreditch again, at actually the same restaurant because it was so good when we went for dinner that I had to go back. And then went down to Borough Market, had a little wander in there, which will all be on the vlog when I post it, and took a long walk. It's one of my favorite things to do in London. I used to do it when I first moved to London. I was living near London Bridge, and I discovered this amazing walk along the South Bank, and you pass so many great things, and it's such a fabulous view of the North Bank and St. Paul's and lots of landmarks and the bridges, and you're right by the river and there's pubs, and it's just delightful. And as you walk along, you feel like you're in a movie because you have seen that section of the city in so many movies. You would absolutely recognize it. And well, when I post the vlog, you will recognize stretches of this walk that have appeared in movies and TV shows. That was it. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful. I hope it gave you some inspo in case you have some trips coming up and you are only taking a carry-on and you still want to, you know, be a little bit more put together. Don't forget to like and subscribe and tell all your friends and, you know, all that good stuff. I really appreciate all of you who tune in and watch and comment, and you're so lovely and supportive. Honestly, every week I just cannot get over how nice you all are. So I am very, very appreciative. I'll see you next time.